Welcome to this finale edition of Strange New Pod. I'm your captain and host, Julian Brown, alongside the best bridge crew this side of United Earth. Our man at the controls handling our free promotions last week, Mr. Vice Admiral Eric, Lieutenant Commander Hawk, who you should never again mention the Picard Season 1 finale to, and the biggest Stacey Abrams superfan, but aren't we all? Aren't we all? It's true. Captain Giraffe. That's right. If you didn't hear it on last night's show and the week before, Eric handed out some promotions, and I'm sticking with him because I like it. I like promotions. People need to get promoted, unlike Harry Kim. So welcome. Glory to you in your house. It's a big week, guys. How we doing?
Good.
Yeah. All right.
It's been a time. Right. I don't know if it's for you guys, but we have March break here for kids, so I'm exhausted.
Oh no, but we just did. We just turned the clock forward. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I don't know if you guys do it in Canada either.
Yeah. Oh, we did that on the weekend. Unfortunately, we do.
Yeah. Big week. We had a new episode of Picard. Obviously, we're not talking about that tonight. You can catch that on episode 73 of the pod, which is live right now. This is all focused on the Star Trek Discovery Season 4 finale coming home. And in that finale, we are going to break it down. We are going to review it. Just, wow, so good. With mere hours before Earth and Navarre are destroyed by the DMA, Michael and the crew of Discovery hatch a last-ditch effort plan to make successful first contact with species 10C. And that's just where we're going to leave it, because we have so much to talk about with this episode. Yes, so we will get to it in just a second. But first, Eric, we need to thank our awesome Patreon Collective members at the Ready Room level and above.
Yes, indeed. Thank you to Simon Steger, Jeff Reeve, Mariah Gossett, Jen Stein, Tina Alexander, Joe Saporito, Noe Santo, Kung Hui, Haven, Takako Nagumo, Kara Kennedy, Mark, Fernanda Nogales, SMK, Ian Davies, Amy Grace, Laura Linderman, Reasonable Stranger. Oh, I should have done that sexy like draft. Reasonable Stranger. Colin Davidson, Susie, Reasonable Stranger, Jesse Desmond, and Aylin Davis. Aylin?
I think it's Alan. I hope they listen and maybe email and tell us, because I'd actually like to know. Is it Alan? Do we know them? They're over in the UK, so
I just know that spelling is just like somebody I know. Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're going to go with Alan. Thank you guys for being awesome patron members. We really appreciate it. Just a quick reminder, if you're in the chat and you're not one of our patron members yet, one more, and just at that dollar level, one more, and we sing Where My Heart Will Take Me.
They'll do it live at Chicago.
I did not sign that contract, Eric.
Hey, you know what? No, because you're not gonna be here. So
yeah. And we need your guitar.
Yeah,
I'll record it for you. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Guys, no strange new loop this week. This whole episode is just dedicated to this awesome season 4 finale coming home. We're getting right into it. Eric, we'll start with you. Your thoughts on Discovery's season 4 finale.
Oh, for the people in the chat that are wondering what one more is, it's one more Patreon, and then we get to sing Faith of the Heart, or not Faith of the Heart. It's Where My Heart Will Take Me, the Star Trek version of Faith of the Heart. We say live, but we can't because of the audio syncing issues. We'll have to record it.
We could round robin.
I think we could probably awfully do it.
No.
I know you guys did it with Firefly.
Yeah, no, that's because I was doing it, and it's fun because I'm syncing with me. I've done choir rehearsals over the internet, and it's terrible. It's terrible.
Right, so we will record it, and Eric will do all the work to put it together.
It'll be a music video, I'm sure.
It'll be a music video. It'll be fun.
Oh, yeah. What?
It'll be Giraffe walking basically, like down the street in LA and stuff like that. Yeah. Slow
James
motion.
Cromwell just like pushes her into the street or something.
We can get James Cromwell, right? That's what do we do?
Yeah.
Make it Ethan Peck, and I'm doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. I like it. All right, guys. It is our coming home Star Trek Discovery season 4 finale review. Apparently people are buffering. We're going to give them a minute. Are we good?
I don't see anything on the stream.
We're good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're going to keep going. It is our coming home review. Eric, we're going to start with you this week. Your thoughts on the Discovery season 4 finale.
Oh, isn't it nice when Disco sticks a landing Isn't that great?
Yes.
It's one of two times that I feel like season 2 and season 3. This isn't as good as season 2 and season 4. This isn't as good as the finale of season 2, but it's damn close. Man, it was good. This, if I had to give any criticism, is that they fit so much in this episode that they could have definitely spaced it out over the last 2, and it would have been fine. Like they had to go through so much, and I felt like the only issue with cramming everything in this episode is that certain things you don't get the full feel for it. Like all these people were like in danger of dying. Like there was Detmer, and you're like, oh no, is she gonna die? No, she's fine. She's not gonna do it. Oh no, that Earth captain lady is gonna die. Oh, she beamed out. It's fine. It gave me the same feeling. Oh wait, Book's gonna die? Oh no, he's fine. It gave me the same feeling as when Chewbacca died in Rise of Skywalker. And I was like, this emotional feeling is just wasted for that. I didn't want them to kill Book or any of the main characters, honestly. But if Tarka dying is the only emotional impact that I feel, and it's because he sort of turned good at the end a little bit. He felt there was a little bit of
He didn't even die. We're not
we don't
even
know.
Sure.
That's true.
Yeah.
No body. That's actually a very good point. Yeah.
I would have given anything for a post-credit scene where he appeared in a different universe.
Oh my God! Yes.
Could you imagine? And then like a footstep, and you don't know who it is. Could it be his partner? We don't know. Oh,
it's Boba Fett.
Yes.
It's Boba Fett. There's a little chink whenever the person's that. Overall, I think it was a great episode. It was a little cheesy at times, but you know what? Fuck it. I love it. It was the most sciencey Star Trek finale that I think I've seen in a long time. The Species 10C is gorgeous, and I like that we've seen technology advance so much, and this species is so far in advance that they've sort of gone simpler, and there's something beautiful in that. Like the fact that their nature and their technology is all in one is something we don't really see in Star Trek, and it's something I've really, really enjoyed. Man, I think I blew everything over that emotional like takeaway when I think about this episode. I like that Book isn't his crimes were bad and stuff, but everyone understood where he came from, and I like that what he has to do is that he has to help people that were displaced because of this catastrophic event. Like something's awesome like that. I forgot the Dadmiral and Tilly like pairing up. That is something I never expected to work, and it was such a good one.
It was so good.
Seeing Tilly being her fully realized self as a teacher, and like just like commanding these students and being like so proud of them, and this is what I assume Draft is like as a teacher, right? So I assume you're Tilly in real life.
Yeah. She's probably a little Tilly. No, I don't know. I've never seen you teach.
We haven't seen you teach, but I expect you have that little thing of alcohol in your desk too.
I'm way more like Mariner with like the crazy board explaining stuff.
You could be a little of everything.
Like, yeah.
Overall, I think it was a beautiful episode. I like that Saru and Serena finally got together. I don't know where they're going to take the next season. I assume because we ended on Earth, maybe we'll get to see Starfleet become part of, like, because Earth has joined the Federation again. So I assume there's maybe some sort of building that happens there. That would be awesome, especially since I think Starfleet will, like, their base was hovering over Earth at the end.
The last shot made it seem very much like Starfleet is back home on Earth where it began, and that's the direction they're going to go, which I really appreciated.
And they said that the Andorians are coming back, so if they're rebuilding those original species, maybe we'll see Klingons again. I don't know, next season.
Dude, where are the Klingons
and the Remans?
I don't even give a shit about the Remans anymore. I'm sorry, Lexi. I love you, but like, where the hell are the Klingons? Like, I need to know. I need to know.
What I really appreciate is that they tied up so much this season. Yeah. They could have done it over a course, like a couple episodes, and we know that those middle episodes are really just filler now after watching this. So 10 episodes next year, guys. 10 episodes, and I'll be 10 fine.
Episodes. Yeah.
That's it. Agreed. I love this. Thumbs up.
Nice. Draft, you're up.
Oh, it's Stacey Abrams. Awesome.
Yes.
Yes.
President. Okay, it was.
Wait, hold on 1 second,
What?
Giraffe. NY Rally wrote season 5 must have a Saru Tarina finger scene.
Hey, what did I say?
You said it first. Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally, when I was watching, I was like, "Where's the finger banging? Like, what's going on? Like, you're doing this, like,
Missed opportunity.
Vulcan, come on,
Try
missed
finger, butthole.
opportunity."
Oh,
It's an Elden Ring. Elden Ring
it's an
joke.
Elden Ring thing.
Okay,
All right.
I see that Eric is always here to like just throw me off.
It's what I do.
Great.
That's literally what he
you
does.
do.
Giraffe, your thoughts on the finale?
So, yeah, good finale. Thank God. I was so stressed. It's not such sweet sorrow because there's not a lot of, how can I say that? We're getting used with Discovery just saving the day and
Mhm.
cleaning all the mess.
Yeah.
And now it's a beautiful little bow. And we go into next season with no plot.
That's okay.
Did we have that last season though? We didn't know.
We went into
No,
this season
exactly.
without a plot too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. That's the problem. That's what I don't like.
No, I like everything being wrapped up in
I
that
like
TV. But that's-
I like such sweet sorrow because there was this, whoa, she went to the future and now what? I want to see the next step. Right now, I mean, that could be a finale from Discovery.
Yeah, it's true.
And that
that's
could
actually a good
work.
point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it could be
I
the
heard it
last
got canceled
episode
again.
ever.
Oh yeah, and,
got fired.
and Alex Kurtz
Got fired.
Fuck
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I like the tension. I like that we're going somewhere. I really liked the plot twist and the thing wanting to move on. The thing with the little bit of humor with the cat door and
Yeah,
I love
Jed
that.
Reno being here for us and like to save the day. Tarka finally getting punched in the face was the most beautiful moment of my life. No, I'm kidding.
No, but it was pretty
really
satisfying.
enjoyable.
It was very
It
satisfying.
was very satisfying. Tilly's back. Mary Wiseman was extraordinary. I think these were the best scene of the episode,
Mhm.
hands down. Her with the cadets, like going around, saving the day, staying. The moment where she touches her personal transporter,
Or she wants to and
she-
doesn't.
she's like,
Yeah.
and that was beautiful. Like these little moments were so great when they start drinking whiskey because that's what you do.
Mhm.
You wouldn't be like, I'm saving her, thank you. No, you'd be drinking the booze that you have on board and being like, hey, we're fucked.
We're gonna die.
You know what? I'm going down drunk. I respect that. That was beautiful. That was very human. That was very well written.
Yeah.
There were things that I didn't like. In Lower Decks when they were joking that the bridge crew always survives, they just die and then they
It's
come
true.
back the next day. Oh my
It's true.
God. Like, kill somebody. I didn't want anybody to die,
Mhm.
but these is dead, is back. Like Michael crying and being like,
Oh, she
yeah,
did such a
let's-
good job, but I knew
She
he
was so
wasn't.
It was
good.
I knew he
so
wasn't gonna
good.
die.
Okay. I think that you could know that he was going to come back and still absolutely just like
Feel for her, right?
feel
Yeah,
that
but you know what?
visceral acting that
Okay,
she did
nah,
there,
nah.
which was just so
Bring
good.
him back in 501. Let me wonder.
I would like that too.
Yeah, like Book is dead. They think he's dead, and
Ooh.
then he comes back in 501.
The
that
search
that
for
would
Book.
have been
I
great.
I just thought of one more thing going off of what you're saying is that like when they said that they couldn't get back to Federation space and it'd take them years, I was like, that would
I
make
was
an
like,
amazing next season, right?
Thank you.
But
And I
then-
said that on the podcast. I said that is what I wanted. And when
Yeah.
they said that, I was like, I'm getting it. They show you the thing blowing up, and you're like, oh, they're screwed. And then magic, a wormhole. I mean, okay, at least give me some interaction.
That wasn't
with them
blowing
and
up.
Tennessee.
No, that wasn't blowing up. They were getting rid of they were basically uncloaking the hyperfield. It wasn't blowing up. That was them
No, but
showing the
you
inside
see,
of
you
the
see in
hyperfield.
the engineering. In the
Are you gonna read
engineering.
Yummy Yum Pods?
No, I was gonna read NY Raw Light. They wrote, I do not want 32nd century Voyager. That's fair.
The thing that blows up is in the engineering, the thing where he puts his fingers in.
The spore drive, yes.
Yeah. They blow up the spore drive, so it's like, oh, okay, so we're stuck here. At least like work a little bit for it. Be like, oh, we have to fix it with the help of the 10C. I don't know. Like get some magic thingy like from Picard. The magic hand thingy. I don't know. Just magic like, oh, there's a wormhole, and now we're gone. There were things that were too easy. Tarka flipping at the last minute. I was like, no. Give me, like, okay, I don't understand one thing. They did the same thing with Osira. They built villains that have good potential. Then they kill them in the end of the season. They clean everything. They even clean the traces of the DMA, and then it's over. Like any other Star Trek has had these villains that you grow to hate, you grow to know. Like take Gul the Cat, for example. Oh my God. Imagine if DS9 had just like did one season of Gul the Cat. Oh, we murder him. Next. Kardashians are gone. Let's do the next one. Why can't Disco build a little bit of these red threads on...
This is why I said that a couple episodes ago when we got his backstory. I was like, they're going to make him good and then kill him. I was like...
But I don't know if I necessarily agree that Tarka was ever really a villain. Like, was he an asshole? Yeah. No. Or the 10C ever villain? No, like there wasn't a villain this season. There was an existential crisis that had to be dealt with, but there was never, this was never about a villain.
Season.
Well, no, you were making the point about Osira too, but she was just awful in every single way possible.
No, Meg's right. Osira had zero potential. Like
I thought Osira was god
because
awful.
they wrote her terribly. Like the Emerald Chain just disappeared from the radar after it's still here, and like we don't talk about it anymore.
Just like Bruno.
I'd really like some some world building of the 32nd century where we can like actually follow things from a season to another.
I just don't think that's how like television works anymore when you're doing serialized.
I don't care. It's what I want. I'm tired of this thing where like the world is terrible and then look, one ship of 900-year-old people just clean everything. I mean, I live for them. I love them. It was a great finale, but to be honest, they're gonna give me a fucking good trailer, so I get excited for season 5 because right now they left me with 0. Everything is clean. Everything is perfect. Why would I come back? Like,
because you like the show.
There are some great takes in Twitch. I don't know if you've seen any of them. Tatako wrote, I don't see Tarka as a villain. He was a man in pain, misguided, and hyper-focused on his loss, which led him to make disastrous choices, but he did not aim to cause pain and loss for others. I don't know about that point. He was blinded, as was Book earlier, by loss, obsessed with reuniting with the one person he was close to. He only recognized the wrongness of it all too late to save himself.
Yum Yum Pod also had a great critique of this season. Kill Nielsen's wig.
Yeah, I've been wanting to read that for like 10 minutes. Yes, please. Agreed.
NY Rawlight wrote, Tarka became clearly a villain last week when he said, oh, Earth has got a month to figure out what to do before it got toxic waste hit. He didn't care about the carnage he left in his wake. I agree with that too.
I agree with that to a point. I still don't think that necessarily makes him a villain. I think he's just completely blinded to wanting to
get to that point,
to whatever potential home is. You know, he's like, this is kind of a bad example, but I'll say it anyway because I've already committed to it. Soren from Star Trek Generations. Like, is Soren necessarily like a full-on villain? He's pretty misguided like Tarka, and he does some fucked up shit, but does that automatically make him like super villain level material?
Well, I don't know. The thing is, we're missing something that can possibly outwit them, and there's not enough in the balance for me. Like when you watch the Dominion War, there's a lot in the balance, and you watch every episode being like, holy shit, what's going to happen? At Discovery, they're giving us a lot of it's gonna be okay, and I mean that's okay, that's what they want to do, but Picard is gonna give me the tragic, I feel.
That's right, you were saying
the tragic I want.
Any other thoughts on the finale?
No, it's okay. Sorry, I'm stopping ranting. I'm gonna say only positive things now. Yes.
Okay. You don't have to only say positive things. No. Hawk, go ahead.
wow, we have covered so much ground here. What do I excuse me, sorry. This was a great finale. Again, second best finale in that after Such Sweet Sorrow.
Yep.
The subject of Tarka as a villain in that, yeah, it's hard to pigeonhole him into that role. It's just just the big bad of the season, because he wasn't all bad, you know. Like even Tilly said, you know, after tasting that whiskey that he'd left with Admiral Vance, and that he was a nice guy.
This wasn't kind of. Well, I think she was being pretty sarcastic though.
No, she was being sarcastic.
Yeah.
I read it as sarcastic. Like, what a pleasant guy.
Oh yeah, that was 100% Tilly sarcasm for sure.
Okay, I misread that. But his main problem is that as a scientist, he lived his life in theory and possibility and that, and he pinned all his hopes on reuniting with his friend on a theory and a possibility in that. You know, it's even when he even lashes out a book at the end, is like, you know, about how you don't know that he's not there. You know, he had pinned his hopes on jumping to another universe, like to meet basically a facsimile of the friend that he knew, and you know, it's like when everything else becomes an equation to break down in order to get to the end, and that, you know, like I said, it's hard to see him as simply a villain in that. You know, we always expected that turn, like that, you know, like when he betrayed Book and took control of the ship. We knew that
R.I.P. by the way, Book ship.
I know. That was a great ship. We always knew that was going to happen, but you know, where was I going with this? I lost track. Again, okay. I can't see him as solely just a villain in that. He was just he was a really misguided individual. Yeah, there were so many great moments. A big shout out to the production of the show again, because there were so many amazing shots. When I was doing a little bit of a rewatch at the beginning there, that shot of Tilly and Vance in the ship and that, you know, with a handheld camera and that is just going crazy around while these great graphics are overlaid on it and that. I was like, how did they do this?
It's so fucking cool.
It's
so cool.
Movie level production on a TV series and that, you know, it's like I keep contrasting that with like shots from TOS and that, where it's like ship-wide damage would be like a shaking camera.
Throw some rocks.
Yeah.
Throw some rocks.
Didn't they say they built the set on a gimbal now so that they can actually
a lot of it is on a gimbal, and especially that the HQ set is like perfect for that, right? That's such a cool set. I love Federation HQ. So yeah.
See. And we finally get to see the 10C in that up close for the first time. I was watching it on the laptop and that, so I can't wait to watch it tomorrow when I can actually watch it on my big 4K and that. But
oh yeah,
you know, they were as weird and as alien as I expected and that, and I was pretty blown away by that bit when after Book addresses them and tells them that they have to do better. They can't just scope out. Yeah. And then it's like his empath marker comes up and that, and they see it and they start emulating it. I was like, wow.
Yeah, I love that.
It was gorgeous.
Siri just turned on the computer for some reason.
Just to read another comment on Tarka real quick. Joaquin slowly says, Tarka was obsessed and broken with grief. I think he was trying to be a reform villain. He was going to inform on Oros that was villainous and wanted to make up for it, but whose sadness and guilt made him beyond myopic. Is that the word? Myopic?
Yep. Yeah, myopic.
Yeah, he was lost more than evil.
Like, yeah. Like when you're singularly focused on the possibility of a theory, you know, being right. I mean, because he's a guy who knew, you know, he was the smartest guy in any room he walked into, and he thought he was always right, but all his hopes were just pinned on the possibility and the theory. Yeah. You know, which made him.
Yeah, but he wanted to try this only in a way that would be of no risk for himself, but of all the risk for others. Because finally, like, he's like, oh, I'll try, maybe I'll survive. But you see, that's the real switch. Because before he wanted to do that in a laboratory where you'd be sure that it was going to work.
But then don't we blame Book just as much as Tarka? Because Book went along and was right until the last second. Okay.
Right. I do blame Book as much as Tarka.
Okay. All right. I just want to get that clear. Okay. Hawk, did you have anything else?
And yes, they had a lot of, like, you know, things to, like, they had a lot of balls juggling in the air for this one, and that to wrap up, and that, defeating Tarka, reestablishing communications with the Tensi, and that. So it all had the possibility of falling apart. They stuck the landing. It was great. Yes, it was a little cheesy because of the hopefulness and that, but for God's sakes, we need a little bit of hopefulness in that. And I think probably the best metaphor of it was at the end in that, after we see like Earth, drop its deflector shields and that, and kind of opens itself back up.
Mm-hmm.
That was a beautiful final image. Thumbs up.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go at some point in here. I have a lot of notes. I'm gonna go pretty deep, so bear with me. Right off the bat, Tilly just being back is so awesome, and being a boss, and being like, I love seeing Tilly be like this mama bear for her cadets, right? Like, she really cares about them and really wants to see them succeed, and is worried to be putting them in this like awful fucking situation, right? Like, it's just so. And then right on the other end of that, you have Michael, who is dealing with the crisis of Book being a fucking jackass, having to like be level-headed and try and figure out a way out of the hyperfield, and also try and salvage Navarre and Earth. I really don't know why they kept on focusing on Titan. Like, I know that we had Titan in the last season, but like, no one gives a shit about Titan. Like, Earth and Navarre, people, Earth and Navarre. Like, so having to deal with not only the love of her life possibly like ruining everything, and also Tarka, but also be there for her crew and figure out a way out of the situation, and being calm and level-headed about it. I love that she was just about to like just confine all the delegates to their quarters and just be like, you're done, I'm taking this bitch over, done. So I love seeing Michael's strength, and then later on just the raw emotion she feels as well. Sonequa killed it, and she is deserving of so many awards. Everything on the Federation HQ ship was awesome. I love Charles Vance. He's one of my favorite new Discovery characters going back from last season. His chemistry with Mary Wiseman and Tilly was so good. I loved all the little ship shout outs, the USS Nog, the USS Yelchin.
Mitchell.
So yes, I'm going to talk about the big one. They found a way to get Kenneth Mitchell into the show this season, and that ship that comes in does the whole Enterprise saving the Defiant moment was the USS Mitchell. And I don't know if that was his voice as the captain talking to Vance near the end there, but if it was, that's cool. But the fact that this big ass ship was the USS Mitchell, oh, so cool. Loved it. I'm going to piggyback off what Giraffe said. Tilly reaching for her badge, maybe wanting to leave, but staying to go down with the ship with Vance. I love that she did that. Species 10C. I know that throughout the past few episodes, we've said that we needed the reveal earlier, and we get a little bit of them in the title of the episode being Species 10C. We don't fully see them. I don't care anymore, because the reveal in this episode was just so Star Trek and so cool and so well done. They are so alien, and I absolutely loved it. And I wrote this in the notes, and it's already been happening on the show, so I was right. I said, I'm sure this is going to be debated for a while, but I really appreciate that Tarka kind of just ended up being this really broken dude, and at the end did decide to be a decent person. I really do appreciate that, whether we do consider him a villain or not. Michael thinking that she lost Book. Will Wheaton on the Ready Room said today that scene was actually very hard to watch, and I don't disagree with him, because Sonequa made, like, I just lost my pet, and like I was like ugly crying, like for 2 days, and she didn't even ugly cry on the show, and I felt every single piece of her grief. She is so fantastic at her craft, and don't feel like she gets enough praise. Just so good. Especially when they're on the surface and she's trying to find the words, and she says, "He was my one." And on Books Not Death, I feel like there's this concept in modern television that characters need grief and trauma, and I feel like unnecessary deaths while it does seem like unnecessary character does help accomplish that, I feel like this is just like what we've been getting for almost like 2 decades worth of like depressing television. So like I'm actually really happy that that didn't happen, that the book didn't die, even if it was a fake out. Michael doesn't need more trauma. We've been saying that. Like she's had her fucking trauma, okay? Like she got that trauma, and it goes back to like the TV doing that stereotype, doing this of characters that are persons of color. Like it's unnecessary. She's been through it. She's the captain of the fucking ship. Let her have some happiness. So she doesn't need any more. She doesn't need it to be a great captain. She already is a great captain. And also she doesn't need to be alone to be a great captain. There's also that stereotype of the captain needs to being alone, and that's old. Like let captains have someone, let people be happy. So I was very happy with that. The one thing that I lastly want to touch on, this was a really big deal for me. David Ajala's speech when he comes back. Will Wheaton said that this was a masterclass in acting, and I know, Eric, that you've taken a lot. I think you were a theater major, right?
Or I was a minor.
We've taken a lot of. I was a theater major. I went to theater camp all throughout my teens. We've done it. We've been in these emotional classes, and David, like,
to think of what he had to reach for to get to that. To get to that scene is I don't know how you like
it's everything that you worked for in those classes to be able to put a scene out and put your emotions out there in front of all your fellow actors. And even though I never became an actor professionally, I did enough of it to know that feeling, and I so appreciate that scene, and I love that David Ajala got the recognition early in the season from IndieWire, and I pray that someone in any of these bullshit award shows recognizes this, because this was so much book season and he deserves the recognition. And that his speech, I have to tell you, is probably one of my favorite all-time Star Trek moments. It was beautiful, and it really touched me as a person. So I know that was kind of a long rant, but it that meant a lot to me. And then the last thing I'll say, Stacey fucking Abrams. Karen and I were like, is that Stacey fucking Abrams? That's Stacey Abrams. Oh, I
love her. I wonder if it's lost on people that aren't North American. Like,
probably
100%.
Yeah.
No, it's lost on some American people.
That's
too.
true.
Like,
That's fair. Like,
I believe me, she did a talk like not long ago, and half the people I worked with didn't know who she was, and I was like, "Stacey Abrams is doing a talk for educators, like let's go," and they were like, "Huh?"
Yeah.
So yeah, no, believe me.
Yeah.
Many people don't know who she is.
And then the very last thing I want to say, which is just something really funny, is like, has fashion not changed in 1,000 years? Like when everybody was going to Earth, like
when it works, it works, man.
I guess so.
What, do you want the TNG fashion? Like you want weird
Men in
skirts?
skirts,
I want
man.
Jean-Luc with his like 2/3 just chest showing.
That's an everyone.
I absolutely adored this finale. I was saying last night and then earlier today that it's maybe not such sweet sorrow. I'm maybe starting to debate that a little bit. I haven't quite made up my mind. I love this finale. I absolutely love this finale. I love this season, so I think that has a lot to do with it too.
I think
we'll get into that.
Sorrow just wins by the pace. Just
right.
by the pace.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's better. It's better paced.
This kind of goes into what I was just talking about, and we could deep dive it some more because I do want to get some of your opinions on it as well. One of the many things that makes this show so good specifically is the quality of not just the show, but most importantly, the quality of the show's actors. Everybody is so amazing at their craft. When Will Wheaton, as I mentioned before, says that this episode was a masterclass, he's not lying. Between Sonequa Martin Green, David Ajala's performances, like how important were both of them, right, to making sure this finale hit the mark and did stick the landing, which was one of our biggest worries going into it.
I think the thing that helps them as actors is that everyone around them is so strong as well. So you can't just have these two lead characters being like the best thing there and everything else just suffer. But when they have such a good rounded out cast, like everything just boosts their performances. So there's already a level that they have to hit. So like they're amazing, and I think they deserve like thousands of awards. Like this season, they're so good. But the fact that everyone around them can keep up with them is, I think, stronger. Like it's harder to do on an ensemble show.
Yeah.
Acting.
Absolutely. I mean, I again, I'm not really into like the good things. Like I like the drama. I like Picard because there's a lot of like people like shooting at each other and blood and stuff. So Discovery is too nice. But no, for real, like it's just like do the good thing, be the good guy, and everybody's like, oh, I'm gonna be the good guy. So I was not like super into the content of the speech, but it was incredible. Like the way he delivered it was so good. Yeah. Even if I didn't care about what he was saying. No, I cared, but you know what I mean. It didn't give me like goosebumps, but like the meaning of it, because I was like, yeah, duh, clean your shit. What, you know? But yeah, it was
This is what Draft got out of it. Clean your shit. just clean your shit.
Stop you know what they're doing.
Clean it up.
Don't just leave it.
It's a criticism of like big companies nowadays. Or like, we're gonna stop doing that bad thing, but they're not cleaning the shit up. So that the problem is still here. They just stop making it worse.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew what they were going for, and I was just like, I hope they're gonna be like, no, because we need the money. But no, I mean, like for sure, they were like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I have a question. They just let them hanging without any protection outside of the galactic barrier and bailed?
It's not like Discovery could protect them.
No, but like they're like, okay, take down all your walls, all your protection, everything. You're good. And they went, and we still don't know what killed them all, right?
That's true.
That's true. But at the same time,
so maybe they're all gonna die. We just don't know. They did the good thing though.
Didn't they say that whatever killed them was
the episode?
Sorry.
Oh, what?
Yeah, the thing that killed them was dead for a long time, right? Like they probably evolved to a part where they're the ones that like we should be worried about.
Star Trek, listen to me. There are no subtitles on the screener, so I basically understand 75% of what's going on.
There's always a bigger fish.
The impression I got from them taking down the hyperfield is that once they actually realized that, you know, the cost of them putting up this huge defensive barrier and for the possibility of like something bad happening to them was costing billions of people's their lives. Yeah,
but
they realized
maybe they're all gonna be eaten tomorrow.
They could
Nobody will know. They're gonna come back and
a species that has the capability of creating a hyperfield like that and creating the DMA are going to be okay.
Yeah,
I know.
Imagine if you were building a shed in your backyard. I don't know if you have a backyard in California.
No, I live in California.
I know. I'm just saying.
How rich you have
imagine you were building a shed and the ants were like, "Yo, we're sentient." Would you still do it? Like that'd be shitty, man.
But that's the cool thing about the 10C is that they're not only technologically light years advanced or evolutionarily advanced in that, they also have like a deep moral center in that, which was what they were always hoping for, you know, in making first contact with them and that. And they didn't realize...
I totally sidetracked that question, by the way. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's all right. Hawk, did you have anything on?
Like I said, they seem to like morally, they seem to be way more advanced than us, you know.
Yeah.
And they don't even recognize a concept of they didn't even recognize a concept of individuality.
I think Julian meant the acting thing.
It's okay. It's okay. The 10C are really fucking cool. It's okay.
They can't even scan for life. They're so advanced and they cannot scan for life.
They didn't care about it.
They didn't care to. They just thought that they were the biggest things in the universe and there was nothing else. They said that. They were like, we didn't know.
I don't know. Like, again, no subtitles. I need to rewatch that.
we see the return of Tilly in this episode, even though she was barely in the season, but it was still a treat and great to see her. And like we said at the beginning of the show, a very driven version of the character that we get to see. How do we feel about her working alongside Vance and her cadets? Because this is just such an absolutely different version of Tilly than we've seen.
I want to see her lead a Starfleet Academy show. Like I want to see her as this person. Like I love that she's so confident in what she's doing, because she's always been like, at least every time we've seen her this season, she wasn't sure where she belonged, which was a running theme with her throughout all the seasons. But to see her so confident in her actions and confident in her students, which I guess is much harder as a parent and a teacher, right? It was nice to see her, if it was even if it was just a fleeting moment. And I hope that she's a series regular next season instead of like a recurring, because I would love to see more of this.
I feel like the end of the season, like with what Michael was saying and some of the stuff that she was saying on the Ready Room, makes it seem like she is going to be back. I know part of the reason she wasn't on the season is her play, which I'm going to humbly brag I'm going to see on Sunday.
Oh, nice!
I'm really excited. Yeah, it's called At the Wedding. Me and Karen are going in Manhattan. Really stoked. I do think she's going to be back more next season. So,
I hope Gray's back too.
Crossed.
Like,
yeah.
A lot of people have the idea that Adira and Gray broke up.
Yeah.
So
why?
Yeah,
Come on.
Yeah.
Well, there was that weird scene of
her and Detmer, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So wait, I'm here for the drama, but I'm not here for that kind of drama.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
I love Tilly. I think it was the best thing in the episode. I had nothing to say. I had nothing to say bad. But
Tilly was amazing.
Every moment, like when she steps in, when she sends the cadet, when she talked to them, when she's here working, when she sends them away, when she drinks, every single shot was perfect. Every line was good. I think it's the only moment where I almost cried. That was the only moment.
When she was talking to her two cadets? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, maybe because it resonates with me. I don't know. But
also those were the two that were at each other's necks the whole episode. And to see them work so well together. And my God.
And when he goes like, how many can we save? That's all? I was like, for me, these were the best scene of the episode. I loved every single one of them. And you know what? In the end, I'm like, okay, what's going to be next season? What's going to happen next season? Because they gave us nothing. So I need to imagine something, Like, there was no way for me to imagine the DMA or the burn,
Tarka returns.
I'm ready for anything. But the only thing that was actually
Lorca
trailing
makes a 900-year-old trip.
Oh, my God. Where's the Kelvin verse?
First of all, yeah. But the only thing they actually hinted to is the Academy series.
And the rebuilding of the Federation, I think.
Like in season 2, when they were just hinting at Strange New World, for me, this is hinting to the Academy series.
Yeah.
And it was a very good pull for me to watch that series way more than to watch season 5, because right now I don't know what's going to go down in season 5. There's going to be a great new villain. And I can know nothing. So go Tilly.
Go ahead, Hawk.
I just keep contrasting the Tilly we saw in this episode and that with the very first time we see her sitting across from Michael, just trying to fill the air with a lot of nervous talk and that without ever getting to the point. That's character development. It took 4 seasons, but she's finally where she wants to be, and I love it.
Yeah, so good. You guys said everything I wanted to say on that. So good job. Well done. I will say it's excellent having her. And I really do hope that she comes back. It was great seeing her say I love you to everybody and give everybody hugs. Can we talk about that scene real quick and all the different drinks on fire and everybody just getting wasted? Because that's what I would do after that situation. That's what I would do. I'm just going to ask you guys, do we even bother going with this Tarka question, because I think we just covered all of that when we went off topic.
Yeah.
Up
Just
to
a
you
big
guys.
shout
This
out.
was
Just a
on
big
top.
shout out to big shout out to Sean Doyle.
God, I love
he is
him. He's so good.
He's a great character actor. I love seeing him in anything and that. So I can't wait to see him in the next sci-fi series that he decides to get
New
involved in.
Stargate?
Yes.
MGM on Amazon. I guess I will ask, because I don't know if we necessarily all answered this. Did we all like the fact that he did decide to be a good person at the end, whether we think he's a villain or not?
Yeah, I like the fact that it took a while and that, but it's like he had pinned all his hopes on it and that, and it's like he's not a guy who would would come to that decision on it immediately in that, because he was always convinced he was right, even if it was just a theory in that. He was always pretty good with his theories. It got him through the barrier, got him that power source he needed and that. So but I think once pushed hard enough and that, it was in there. It was somewhere in there in that for him to make the ethical decision instead of just the theoretically good decision.
Yeah.
Well, he still thinks he's right.
Mhm.
So, I mean, he
But
still thinks he's right, but he had to abort because he got punched in the face because he was going to do it, right? And then he pivoted and was like, "Oh, I'm going to use the blast to blast myself into the other
I don't think
universe."
he thought he was right at the end.
No, I don't think so. Especially when he broke down and was like, "Why isn't he here to stop me? Why
Right.
isn't he here to stop me? He's doing exactly what you're doing to me right now."
Yeah.
I think he knew he was wrong at the end.
Yeah.
You think? I think he's not dead. I think he made it.
I think he's dead.
I hope he
It's
comes back.
Discovery. Nobody dies, and everybody gets what they want.
Just
He
the
made it.
Klingons.
Last week we already talked about this a little bit, but let's dig into it some more. We were teased with kind of like the glowy eyes and the fact that the 10C were big, right? But we didn't really get to see them. And I did say that we complained a bit about not getting to see them a lot earlier. I feel like I'm happy watching this and the way it was finally handled, that I don't feel like if I go back and binge the show the season now, I'm gonna be like, oh man, I really wish I had seen the 10C earlier. I feel like it was one of those really cool all-time Star Trek moments, the reveal, and especially not just the reveal, but that moment after Book's speech where the Quajon side of him comes out and he telepathically connects with them, and I just thought that was amazing, and I want to get more of your take on that.
I like jellyfish. I like stingrays. They looked great. I love them. It was a good design without it being too weird. There's something familiar and peaceful about how they looked. I don't know if it was the coloring. Yeah, but not even that. That was more eerie. I felt these didn't feel as creepy as the giant jellyfish from Mission to Farpoint. I don't know if that makes sense. I think it might have been the colors and the surrounding and the awe of the Discovery crew with everything around them.
Mm-hmm.
It just felt, and it looked so good. Man, I like them as a species. I hope they don't just go away.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. I think they were like looking so terrifying the previous episode when they appear and it's all red. I was like, but they look good, and I think they look peaceful because we know they're peaceful by then.
Yeah.
I just want to know how they managed to like type so fast.
It did get a little convenient at the end there, right?
It was a new algorithm.
Oh, that's right. It was
like,
a new algorithm.
Oh, like an episode before, they're like 2 + 3 = 5. And now they're like, listen, like friendship and freedom, and like you're like, wow, okay. We were like,
don't worry, Suru's got your back. Suru's got your back.
Yeah. No, I think they were gorgeous, and the planet is gorgeous. With
Yes.
the floating red thing. Yeah. It was like very TOS. Like I'm just. Sorry.
It was very TOS.
Like,
they reminded me of the
what?
space whales from Rebels.
I don't
if they're
right.
whales from
if they were translucent and stuff, man, space whales.
Yeah.
Space whales.
On Twitch, Joaquin slowly says that the threat for the galaxy in season 5 is just infinite Tuvixes.
Oh my god, no! Season 5 is when David.
Elixes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on Species 10C?
It was great finally seeing them. Like I said, I can't wait to watch the episode tomorrow after 9 because that's when Crave puts it on here in Canada. Thank God for screeners, or I would never be able to do this show. I think we've covered it in that. Yeah, my biggest takeaway is like Mission to Farpoint. Do you really think the jellyfish and creatures from Farpoint were really scary looking?
They were when I was a kid, man.
Yes,
when I was
they
a
were
kid,
definitely
well,
scary.
I thought the interior of their ship was scary. I didn't think they were so much scary when
That's
they came
right,
up
the
off
interior
of Farpoint,
was.
but the interior was scary as hell. I remember that being like freaked out as a kid.
Yeah.
Sure. So and like the Doppler guy, what Groppler Zorn or whatever his name is, was also like super creepy too. So
we were just feeding it.
Yeah.
We were taking care of it.
Oh man. Finally the epilogue of the season and probably one of the best all-time Trek cameos, again, especially I feel like if you're from Georgia and if you're a Democrat, to which I say, I mean, one of the best fucking cameos ever. Stacey Abrams is the president of Earth, who tells President Rillick immediately that Earth is ready to rejoin the Federation. Negotiations be damned. What did we think with her scene, her debut, and her scene with Michael, and this just awesome surprise? Because for those that don't know, Stacey Abrams is also a massive Trekkie, like all her life.
Yeah.
Before she even guessed on Discovery months ago, she was a guest on the Pod Directive with Tawny Newsome and Paul F. Tompkins. So yeah, she absolutely loves the series. What did we think about this?
It was so cool seeing her. Like, yes, it's Stacey Abrams and that, hopefully she wins, she's running for governor in Georgia and that this year. Please vote for her and that, because, let's face it, she's played a large part in the fact that, Mr. You-know-who didn't get a second term.
Yep.
Mr. You-know.
This is just a great tradition that Star Trek has of reaching out to people from not only science and the aeronautics and that, and now in politics and that, reaching out and bringing them onto the show, and that it was amazing. Yeah.
I think I absolutely dissociated when she arrived. I was like,
yes.
like I could not compute. Like my eyes were totally separated from my brain. I was like, wait, is that? And I just started screaming on the.
You did. It was great. I was so happy.
chat.
I was waiting for you to get that moment the whole time I was chatting with you in the chat. Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, first of all, because I'm so happy for her. Because I know what it is to be a huge Trekkie, right? And like having to do like the work, the work. I mean, I'm not in politics, but I'm in education. It's the same. It eats your soul, and you work for people, and you work to better the world and better the situation and better, the lives of people around you. And like to get to be on Star Trek. Oh my God. I was like, thank you. Give her something good in her life. Like give her some, a present. It's a present from all of us. Enjoy. Get your hair done. Wear some Gersha Phillips. Act with everybody. I'm like, I was so glad for her. Not that I was happy to see her. I was just glad that she got to do it. I was like, you get it. And by the way, this episode is totally Black women saving the galaxy between Ndoye and Michael. I was like, okay. I mean, I'm here for this. I'm absolutely here for this.
And Stacey Abrams, sorry, Eric. Stacey Abrams has an acting background, so like she felt like a natural, like on the set apparently, and took direction really well. I watched a lot of the Ready.
And now she has a SAG card because she had a speaking roles, right? So
you go.
That's good. I love that someone who in real life her values mirror so much of what Star Trek conveys, right? The fact that she lives her everyday life trying to, treat everyone equal. She's getting voting rights for Atlantean Georgians. So many of her.
What if it was Atlanteans?
That's true. Her advocacy, like everything she advocates for, is stuff that people that are into Star Trek, like it's our core beliefs. Like it's what we hope to achieve in life, and she's doing it in real life and on screen. Then that's amazing, right?
Oh, so it's the chicken or the egg, like. Is she like this because she's a Trekkie? oh, is she Trekkie because she's like this? Ah,
Right. And I do have to think
Maybe both.
it's necessary to say to all the people, to all the fanboys and gatekeepers who have melted down over this. If you're melting down over this, you're not a Star Trek fan. You can call yourself a Star Trek fan, but you're not a Star Trek fan, because if you've been watching Trek and you haven't figured out that Star Trek is I don't want to call it a Democrat show, but a show that believes in what is right, then you haven't been paying attention for 55 years. So
It's a progressive, like,
I want
yeah.
I want somebody to make
Progressive,
that
thank you,
that meme where there's like these two astronauts and one is like,
Oh,
Star Trek is political. It always
at least it was. It always was. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Guys, let's do it. Let's rate this finale out of 10 bottles of Raisin whiskey, because you got to pour one out for Tarka.
Mhm.
Eric, go ahead.
I give this a 9 out of 10. I think season 2 had a 10 out of 10 finale, but this was a good one. I think there are a little bit too many convenient things that happened. But overall, it was a very enjoyable episode. I liked what they did. I liked seeing people return. I liked seeing Tilly. They had Jet Reno, so, automatic 9.
We didn't even talk about Jet Reno.
She was amazing.
being a boss.
Yeah, I talked a little bit. I just wanted to see her like crawl through the little door.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I did too.
They didn't.
Hopefully they have a deleted scene later that we get to see.
I
But
hope.
yeah, a good 9. Solid 9.
Draft.
Yeah, same. Solid 9. A good episode. Didn't give me the feels as I got in Such With Sorrow, where
Yeah.
basically I had to watch it 3 times because I was crying so much I could not watch it. I could not see it. Like too much crying. So I think the pace was a little weird. The end finishes 15 minutes. The episode finishes 15 minutes before the end of the episode. And good thing there's Stacey Abrams in the end, because I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
What is going on? What is going to happen? Why is there still 15 minutes? So a little bit of like better pace. And I think this last 4 episode suffered from like reorganizing the story in a meaningful way. But it's a good episode. I had fun. I was into it. I'm looking forward to the Academy show. Yeah. So yeah, 9 out of 10.
Nice. Hawk.
Yeah, solid 9 out of 10. Would have been a 10 if 2 things had happened. One, I was really kind of hoping David Cronenberg would make one final appearance.
Yeah.
Povich and that.
Yeah.
But apparently he's off with Bryce doing stuff.
Maybe they're the big bads next season.
Could you
Just saying,
imagine?
maybe Kovic is like bad Section 31 guy, but that's been done in Discovery
He
already.
would do such an amazing job as a
He
villain.
would. He
Mhm.
totally would.
Get Werner
that-
Herzog, add them together. Oh my God. It would just be crazy. Cinematographer, director,
Bounty
actors.
hunting is a dangerous profession. 2 would have been, I'm glad Jet Reno was in it. I was so hoping it was Jet Reno who was going to kick Tarka's ass.
Oh
Fair.
my God, so much. I was like,
Mhm.
please, just like take that wrench and like hit him. That's everything I wanted to see. But
Yeah.
that was a nice scene, like the slow motion of the field. like,
just
collapsing.
ripping through
Ugh.
that. Oof.
All that thanks to a cat. Incredible.
But yeah, solid 9 out of 10. This is a great finale. I'm glad they tied up this story so beautifully.
Nice. I'm gonna give it the 10 out of 10. I
Nice.
fucking love this finale, and you know what? I am happy for some predictability in my television. It makes me personally happy. I loved this finale. It is up there. I haven't made a decision yet about what's better. I'll get there. Such sweet sorrow. Kind of like what Giraffe said. Tears and amazingness, and I've watched that finale so many damn times. I have to watch this a couple more. On Twitch, we have some ratings. Joaquin Slowly, 9 out of 10. Perfect presidential casting choices. Haven, 9 out of 10. As much as I love this episode, it was a little predictable. J Crapsap, 10 out of 10. Tilly for president of Starfleet Academy in the new show.
Mhm.
And yeah, that's it. Before we get to the Subspace to Pull mailbag, let's do what we always do at the end of a season and give some final thoughts on the season as a whole. Give me 1 second because I feel like all the beer gonna burp. That would be awkward. it went away. We're gonna move on. I wrote this in a tweet earlier, but I think that the finale being called "Coming Home" was kind of like a perfect metaphor for the season. Discovery is finally a show without any of the training wheels that it had maybe in seasons 1, 2, and even 3 to a point, kind of holding it back. Michael is the captain, which is what we were building to the whole time. We get more stories with the crew than we've ever gotten in previous seasons. And Michael's relationship is Saru is finally that captain and first officer just fully trust I'm your ride or die that we've been wanting forever. And now he's also got another ride or die in Tarina. Just pointing that out. Love that. We didn't talk about that. With the final piece of the puzzle also being Earth's reentry into the Federation. We're all hurt a little bit, right? Last season when Earth has become this militaristic kind of asshole planet, and now it looks like Starfleet and Starfleet HQ is back home on Earth. Just this beautiful metaphor for the season. Do you guys agree?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and Tilly is in her place where she belongs too. Like
Yeah,
everyone was sort of in their place where they needed to be. The only thing that would have made it more perfect is if John Cena was on a piano playing Home Sweet Home. I thought it was great. It was a good way for them to sort of that, like Giraffe said, this feels like a series finale. Like it could just be done right now, and I would be fine with that.
Yeah.
Me. Oh, me.
Anybody?
Sorry. I liked it. It's a solid season. It started incredibly well. Like the first episode was mind blowing. It was so good. I think it was like, maybe I need to rewatch it, but even better than the finale. Like
the premiere is an absolutely almost perfect hour of television.
So yeah, it's unequal, but every season is, right? And I think they did a great job. The actors were incredible. The costumes, man, were so
Gersha
good.
fucking Phillips.
All right. And we got to see Nivar coming back to the Federation. We got to some politics. I like the politics of track.
Yeah.
We left that a little bit and went back to the more adventurous, and I think that's where they lost me a little bit. But
because you were never like a TNG person.
No, I
That's
don't
so
like
much
TNG.
Adventure. Yeah.
I mean, I like TNG. I mean, I like Star Trek more than any other show. So when I say I don't like TNG, I still like it than like 90% of television out there. But the season was great. I think they avoided a lot of like the little failure they had in other season. They're growing. I'm really looking forward a 10 episode season where they can condense the story and have it like go faster and have a better pace overall. I'm looking forward to rewatch it. And I'm gonna ask a question on top of this. Which was your favorite episode? I think mine was All In. All In, I think, is one of my favorite episodes of Trek.
Damn,
now.
That's a good question.
I like to go off what you said. Like I need to rewatch the season because I've forgotten so much because of that long ass break in the middle. So I think this season sort of goes up and down for me because most of it is just like, what happened there? Oh wait, that was Prodigy. No wait, that was something else. And I'm like, oh man, like the breaks killed it for me this season. I don't even remember what my favorite episode would be, to be honest.
Oh, on Twitch, do you have any favorite episode of the season?
Let Hawk go about real quick, and we'll talk about that too.
This whole the season as a whole, like I said, as Eric said, I got to go back and rewatch, and I barely remember the first episode now, but
the butterfly people.
The butterfly.
Oh, butterflies! Yes, that was good.
But as a whole, like there was maybe 2 episodes I was probably disappointed in, and that was just the back half of the season, and that where it's like that pacing was really off, and it seemed like they were just throwing in there because they had a 13 episode commitment and they had to throw something in there, right? But it's been one of the most solid, rewarding seasons. I think the cast and the crew has shined in just about every episode, and I do like that it was cleaned up and that, and I do like that each new season kind of starts like fresh and that.
I agree.
It lends itself to a lot of possibilities in that.
Oh, All In is a good episode.
All In, like
All
yeah,
In is
I think
really good episode.
I think All In and the premiere are probably the two best episodes. And I would say along with the finale. Or
I like the examples as well. That was the one with the prison.
Yeah.
yes.
I really like that episode.
I have many problems with the examples.
I like the actors in it. Like I like the prison scenario. Like I just like that episode.
Much like season 3, season 4 started really, really strong, but unlike season 3, season 4 just stayed a really strong season right up until the very tail end of the season. The bumps in the road though for season 4 did seem like they could derail the train. Like we were all worried. Like it was, were they going to stick the landing? They did. Spoilers. But yeah, I think that the team managed one of the best conclusions for a show that the season has seen. Where do you guys rank season 4 in the 4 seasons of Discovery so far?
Again, I have to rewatch it because so much is like
hard
coming in and out. But like, I think season 2 is still my favorite season because I just love Pike and the crew. But I really like the season 2 from what I can remember.
Yeah.
I think out of the 4, this is my second favorite, probably.
I think that season 4 is most probably the best crafted and the best accomplished and the best designed. But I will go for season 2 because fuck. I mean, the disco prize and all this, like, I was so into
we
it.
get
But I
Strange New
didn't
Worlds
like
because of season 2 of Discovery, which is such a big deal.
I didn't like the plot, like the Red Angel. After like maybe 5 episodes, I was like, I don't care about this anymore. But here I was into the season until the end, even if they lost me a little bit in the middle. It was a beautiful season. They've really grown. But second best.
Yeah, probably second best. Although I'm not sure season 2 was my favorite. Like largely, except for the finale, season 1 is still like it was the most divergent like Star Trek series I'd seen in a long time. In that, and there were a lot of good characters, a lot of great there was a lot of great character development in that season. This one feels the most Star Trek out of all the seasons.
I don't even remember liking the first half of the first season of Disco. Like I remember
stopped watching the first half of the first season because of the Klingons. So I
the Klingons.
Yeah.
As soon as they went to the Mirrorverse is when I started liking Disco. Like that was halfway through the season, and then it just got better. And
they were giving me Vulcan from the beginning. I was into it, man. They lose Sarek. Like there's like this. Lethe is such a good episode. What?
Lethe is great. Yeah. No,
Lethe is a great episode.
For me, what really kind of fascinated me was like viewing the main character of the series, and that was somebody who was basically on the outs in Starfleet, and that she was considered a mutineer. She was basically hijacked into working as like kind of in a black ops project, and that for this Klingon war, and that.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of fascinating seeing like somebody who was the lead in a show, and that who was basically like treated as like an outsider. We've never really seen that with Star Trek before.
Season 2 is still the best season. I think this is a very close second. I think this was a great season of the show. And then I would go season 1, and then I think season 3 was probably the worst season of the show so far. And it wasn't bad, but it wasn't anything I think special. Speaking of special, very quickly, if you can think of them, if you can't, we'll move on. Your worst moment of season 4 and your best moment of season 4. Right.
What's the best season?
Oh, that's hard.
The worst season, Rosetta. That was my word. I had no faith that they would set. Like I don't think I ever got a feeling that I never thought I would get that feeling where I was like, oh, they're not going to land this. And that's what Rosetta did for me. So that's what I'm going to put as my worst thing. And I don't even know why. It just, the whole episode just felt off for me. The best, anything with Jet Reno. She's amazing.
Not shocked to hear that.
My best is, whoa, Shaken! That was the best moment for me. I mean, I love the Butterfly people, but that fight was so good. It was so fun. Yeah. Oh well. Where she
That card
could,
fight, that card game
that
too was
poker
amazing. Oh my
game.
god.
Like all the little like nudge to the past of Star Trek with the weird expressions that they have. I loved all in. So yeah, the fight, Oshikun's fight. And the worst, dead baby dust. So
Rosetta.
thank you. I am done.
Let's just play with this a little bit more. Are you feeling sad? Huh? Yeah. Yeah, I would feel sad too.
Yeah.
Oh god. Worst moment in the season, probably book like, I'm so surprised you're turning on me. we knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Best moment. God, I don't know. Probably something involving Kovic and that. I still love the Gilligan's Island reference in that. And I think, that there's probably something deeper to that in connection with Calypso.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody's talking. We didn't talk about Zora at all.
It's because they lied. They were like, we're getting to that. We're getting to it. We promised. They didn't.
Well,
It's
Zora
fine. I really don't care.
They were Zora was a circle on that planet.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. No, they kind of ignored that, and I'm fine. They backed themselves into a corner. They're not ever going to admit it, and that's fine. I'm fine with that. Worst moment. The Galactic Barrier. That episode was
Oh my god, it was so bad.
One of the worst episodes of Discovery ever.
Jump bubble.
So bad.
Right in
Best
the magic
moment?
school bus.
Best moment. This is gonna sound so freaking cheesy, but I don't care. And Eric's gonna love it. Michael's speech in the premiere, man. At the opening of Archer's space dock.
Yeah.
And they play the Enterprise theme, and she's like, anything is possible. And I'm like, I'm not crying. You're crying.
Anything
man.
is possible. You made Enterprise good there.
Right? Yeah.
That was the best. Yeah, that was
I love that moment. Do we have a couple on here? Haven, worst moment of season 4. The moment we thought we were gonna lose Detmer. From this episode, and best moment, Gray being reborn.
Yeah, that was an amazing moment.
Yeah, that was a great moment for sure. All right, we are running dangerously close to running out of time. Let's quickly rate this season out of 10. I don't have any fancy things to say. Just give it a number.
9.
I give an 8.5.
Yeah, 8.5.
9, like giraffe. 9. It was a great season. I do want to just read this quick comment from Mailbag because it's a really good one. She came back with a late comment. And Ndoye should have been this season's Tarka. To which I say, I really like that. I like that. Yeah. No, you don't agree? That's
she should have died. I don't know why they say
I think she should have died too. I 100%
because nobody ever died. Come on.
Nobody ever dies.
Don't you know that? They see the koala and then they come back.
We did have season ratings up here. Where did they go? Okay, here we go. Maybe a 7.5 from Haven. Joaquin Slowly 9 out of 10 as a whole. I think that 8 out of 10 from Jay Crabsap. So, all right, guys, we have to move this right along. Let's get into the subspace to poll and mailbag.
Hailing frequencies are open.
And we asked Trek Twitter what they thought of the Discovery season finale. And they said, who wants to read our numbers?
Yeah, so 63% said, I need 10 cc's of wow. Whoa. I should have done that like Joey. 22% said Hyperfield of Dreams. 0%. Wow, 0% said DMA. 15% said life support has failed. Life support has failed.
Yep.
Fair.
So
fair.
People mostly enjoyed it. That's great.
I'm surprised something got 0%.
I know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
There was nothing in the middle for not liking it. So, all right, guys, let's get into the mailbag. Who wants to take the first one? Who wants Haven's?
I'll do that.
All right.
Haven wrote, this episode rocked my world. My heart broke and reconnected multiple times. My biggest gasp, which made me freak out, was when I thought we lost Detmer. Like I was ready to throw hands, similar to how Rafi did in this week's Picard.
Ooh, giraffe.
I will not talk about this. I have no time for you. I have no time for this.
If you do want to hear her talk about that episode, is available right now.
I am actually impressed with Tarka. I never thought I'd say that, but sacrificing himself at the very end to save Book, I can honestly say that I think he did his partner justice. I cannot honestly think of a better season finale in all of Trek.
Nice. Draft, why don't you take Andy Kaufman's?
Wait, I was not ready. I was reading the Twitch thing. Yes. Andy Kaufman wrote, so amazing. The emotions of Michael thinking she lost Book and then getting him back. The silhouette shot was so good. The impending doom on Earth that Luke Owo gave Detmer. I got very emotional throughout this episode, and I thought it was incredibly satisfying once communication finally happened with the 10 Cs. Seeing this season as a series of puzzle pieces that became a clear image, I think will put some of the okay episodes in a more favorable light. And then the cherry on top was Stacey Abrams as president of Earth. I live in Georgia and have seen what she has done for this state. I actually squealed when she came off the ship. I never rate an episode this high, but it is a definite 10-10 home run.
Nice. Eric, take Yum Yum Pods.
These are more thoughts that we came to mind about the season ending rather than the latest episode itself. But we weren't sold on there being no baddie for this season. Wait, but weren't we sold on there being no baddie for this season? Wasn't that a part of the promotion for season 4? Or are we misremembering? I don't know.
I know that like they just really heavily advertised the DMA, not necessarily that DMA was a villain, but that it was this big thing that was threatening everybody. So
interesting.
I see the point.
Either way, we still got Tarka, who got to join the ever-growing list of villains in Discovery that just die. He didn't make it out, is our read. Add him to the pile with Takuvma, Cole, Lorca, Leland, Control, Osira, and her cowboy henchman that called Grudge Pat. I forgot about that. That's funny. It would be nice if bad guys got to live and learn from their mistakes, but that doesn't seem to be a major priority. I agree with that.
Thank you.
In season 3, we were down on how Gray was dead the entire time, and we had also hoped that Adira would get more screen time than they did in the end. Yep. We had those lines of thoughts in the brain that surely in season 4, Gray will come back and be a character in the show. Adira in season 4 will be a much bigger player in the large cast. And now that the season is over, we're not too sure if those thoughts and expectations were really fulfilled. It's true. They were not.
They were not.
It was sad.
They wrapped it up. They gave Gray their body and then were like, we're going to send them off the trail. Bye-bye. And that is literally, that's it. And apparently Ian Alexander sold their suite or their apartment in Vaughn and they're back in LA. So I think no more Gray.
Oh man, that sucks.
Yeah.
That's a bad. I did not.
Yeah, I agree. Haven had that bit of news for us. I'll wrap it up with Magmags, who wrote, gorgeous finale. Every frame is beautiful. Tarina stepped into the communication role that I thought Book would ultimately have as an empath, but it's worth connecting Tarina and Saru. The man loves you, he said. Do whatever it takes. A very full episode, and oh yeah, the president.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. Guys, another season. It's wrapped up. It's done. I do want to take a quick second and say this is now the second show that we have covered 2 full seasons of, and that's very fulfilling, and it has been an absolute honor and privilege doing this with you week in, week out. But that is another season of Discovery wrapped. Of course, we'll be back for season 5.
Maybe they won't kill the villain that season.
Maybe the Klingons finally are back.
I hope they're not the villain.
No, I agree.
But what a villain.
the good news is we still have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 7 episodes of Picard left to review. So we're going to be and then it's
busy.
right into Strange New Worlds.
Oh my God.
So,
My second job.
yep,
And then
exactly.
Prodigy will probably come back.
Yeah, and Lower Deck season 3. So that means,
Oh my God, thanks so much.
and then Strange New Worlds season 2 in like 8 months. So anyway, that is going to do it for our Discovery season 4 finale review. We will be back next week with a review of Picard season 2 episode 4. This has been a wild ride. Thank you guys so much for being a part of our collective and listening and being with us here. It's been a wild ride. I will say for Giraffe, for Hawk, for Eric, Jolan True, live long and prosper, Majram. Good night.
Thanks for beaming into our podcast today. If you want to keep the hailing frequencies open, you can subscribe on Apple and Google Podcasts, YouTube, and Spotify. Like what you hear? Put in a good word with Starfleet and leave us a 5-star review.